Egg prices are still in the news. Plus, we're going to talk about tariffs and a lot more on today's episode of the Arkansas AgCast, which starts right now.
You're listening to the Arkansas AgCast, where we discuss the latest news, trends, and issues impacting Arkansas farmers and ranchers. Our show is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation and hosted by Jason Brown and John Nickman.
That's right. They do still exist as a pair, as a trio.
Oh, us?
Yeah.
Us?
Been a while.
It has.
That's what I was asking you while the music was playing in. How long has it been? It has been, I don't know. I thought I'd be able to see it really quickly.
3 weeks?
Yeah, I think so. 3 weeks. It looks like March, February 27th was the last time we did a normal show.
Well, that's exactly 30 days.
Yeah, we did a deep dive the next week on the Arkansas corn crop with Jason Kelly.
Yep.
Then we did a deep dive with you. I was going to say yours truly. On the farm trail. Yep. Then we did a deep dive last week with Tyler Oxner to talk about the ECAP funding.
Hey man, all that's good information to pass along.
Yeah, so 3 weeks of deep dives to catch up on if you have not, and all of them are good. I'll tell you. And so there's a lot out there, and that ECAP is really, man, you can knock that one out quick. It's 14 minutes.
Yeah, don't set a lot of time aside just to listen to that one. I mean, listen to it, but it's helpful. Really good information, just not that quite long of a show.
Yeah, and oddly enough, your deep dive is about the longest one we've ever had at 46 minutes. So
I have a tendency to talk, I guess.
You pontificate.
Pontificate.
That's the kettle calling the pot black.
I know. I was just thinking, I've heard that word a lot lately, and I'm trying to figure out why.
Spell it.
No.
Yeah. We did that. My kiddo over the weekend was doing that with my dad and I. I thought I had the bracketology pulled up. Anyway, sorry. She was doing that with my dad and I, like, okay, son versus father spelling bee. And she was asking us these questions. And my dad say, I'll split the word with him.
Yeah.
He felt like the first half to it got hard.
Yeah.
He passed it off to me.
If it wasn't for spell check, like I'm living in the best time for people that can't spell.
Yeah.
Man, it'd be tough. I wouldn't be where I am today without spell check. Yeah.
Punctuation, is that a challenge also, or do you feel pretty confident? No, I'm
pretty confident punctuation. You do find some stuff I miss, but I had some buddies in pharmacy school when we were in grad school. They were telling me that part of that test, they were graded on, if they didn't spell that medication exactly correct, they got the whole answer wrong.
Oh, I didn't think, I've never thought about that, but that's pretty important.
Well, and I was quite thankful for that.
Like that's great, but at
things
the same
I
time,
didn't know I was thankful for until just now.
I'm glad I didn't waste a lot of time trying to become a pharmacist because I wouldn't have lasted long in school.
I'm pretty sure all medical procedures go that way. So, because you get a few letters off, those surgical procedures could be quite different.
Could end up with an elbow on a forehead and all kinds of stuff.
So we replaced your left knee.
Exactly. Yeah. It's important.
Oh my goodness.
Spelling and math,
So exactly.
Calculators and spell check.
Yes.
Well, since I can't get to pull up, for those of you who decide to join our bracket AgCast bracket competition, thanks. It's carrying on, and the games will pick up again tonight.
It's fairly competitive within our group.
Yeah, I think so. Or I should say, the last time I looked at it, it was, especially between the three of us. So, what picks up tonight before we get to the standings there? Sweet 16 tonight and tomorrow.
Correct.
Yep.
Elite 8 Saturday and Sunday. Is that right?
That is correct.
And then we'll have a Final Four by the weekend's end.
Yep.
Is that right?
This coming weekend?
Yeah. By
we won't.
Sunday.
We'll have this set. We'll have it set.
Yeah.
I believe.
Should.
That is correct.
By then. So
by Sunday evening, you'll know who the Final Four are.
Final Four.
So for those who are participating with us, I'll break this into the AgCast team kind of leaderboard and our fans, our hardcore fans out there that thought they could really stump me or Brian, because that's really who's really in the competition.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I happen to know better than that.
So leading in our fan leaderboard is Preston Tackett.
Ran into him yesterday.
Did you?
Randomly dropping our kiddo off at an art camp.
Did he rub it in your face that he was?
No, I told him congrats on being in first place.
Oh, you took the high road.
And he's like, really? I don't think he knew. I don't think he realized it. I don't know.
That's nice.
Anyway.
And then second amongst our fans would be yours truly, our number one fan, Heath Donner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then followed up by Mark Morgan, Peach Pickin' Paradise, and then Rebecca Emmett. So thank y'all for participating.
Absolutely.
I would say one of our fans, although he is staff, was really excited about joining the bracket. And I got to give him a hard time because he didn't fill his bracket out.
I know who you're talking about
joined
because I was worried about him after how he performed in fantasy football.
Yeah, he won the thing. I was like, well, now
yeah.
he's involved. We're all going to lose.
Yeah.
But and then so I think Preston's got 520 points currently out of a possible 1760.
And that's the important number.
Mm-hmm. And then Heath has 460 points out of a possible 1580. Interesting enough, if Preston keeps on going the way he is, both of those individuals have Florida picked. So if he continues to have success, Preston will take the win there.
Yeah.
Now it could get interesting because Mark Morgan's got Houston picked, and Rebecca has Auburn.
Yeah.
They're not far from each other points wise, but they're going to need Preston and Heath to really lose some teams.
That's it. Yeah.
Especially don't have Florida win.
Yeah.
Right.
Now within the AgCast here,
The three of us.
the three of us, of course, again repeating his effort from last year, the Wizard, the one and only Brian Pistol.
He's up there in second place overall.
Yeah, overall.
Yeah.
But within the AgCast, he is winning.
Yep.
Let's see. Next with
510 points.
Yeah,
and
510.
a possible 1750.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So a little bit less than Preston. Coming in at second, Matthew Magnafro.
Hold up now.
Oh no, I skipped you.
Yeah. Come on.
I just saw Houston there
My
and thought,
goodness.
yeah,
Wow.
that wasn't on purpose, but it looked like it was. But I'm fine with both.
I have 500 points, but my maximum is
you missed a lot.
my ability is really capped.
Yeah.
I didn't miss a lot.
1380 possible points
I'm
compared to a
90
1760
But I'm 94% accurate right now.
right now.
The problem is what's going to happen down the road when these teams aren't playing because
true.
they got put out or whatever.
So then it's Matthew, and then it's me down there by my lonely self. I've got 490 points with a possible 1730. So some things could happen. I don't know who's Brian got picked.
To do what?
So he's got Auburn and Michigan, Ole Miss and Michigan State. So, this is big for Brian.
Mm-hmm.
He's got Michigan State winning against Auburn.
Yeah.
We'll have to watch that game.
I just don't have faith in Auburn. I mean,
But Michigan State's got to get past Ole Miss.
true.
They might.
My big issue really is I had Iowa State getting to the Elite Eight.
Mm-hmm.
They're out. And then, who else? Oh, St. John's, obviously. I had St. John's going pretty far. And
Well,
Coach Cal,
they
ruined
must
that
have
for
known you
me.
were a Red Wolf fan.
They
I guess.
must have. They must have. They must have. But anyway, yeah. So that's kind of the big issue for me is St. John's being out in Iowa State because I had both of them going pretty far.
See, like I've got Ole Miss going to play Auburn in the Final Four. No, Elite Eight. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So there's an opportunity there for me to climb the ladder here.
True.
And
Yeah.
Brian to fall down.
Of
The
all
Wizard,
those,
excuse me.
Of all those first games, though, I only missed 6.
I think
Which
I missed
thought
about
was
the same.
fairly. I thought that was fairly good considering I haven't really watched much college basketball this year. And my Red Wolves got put out of the NIT on Sunday.
Did they?
By North Texas, who are the reigning NIT champions. So, tough loss. And then we lost our coach the very next day.
Yeah, he's going to South Florida.
Yeah.
What do you think of that move? Is that a lateral move?
Yes, and he's only picking up like $200,000. I think maybe he's more attracted geographically than he is.
Do you think he may have had a better NIL pot to pull from at South Florida?
Possibly. He is taking 4 of the 5 starters.
Wow.
4 of the 5 starters hit the portal as soon as he said he was gone. So
did any of the ones from Arkansas?
Both of them.
Oh wow.
Yep. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see how
I
basketball
saw this
season
year
turns
for
out.
basketball. It was the record for the most people entering the NIL or not the transfer portal in the first when it opened.
Oh really?
Like it's over 1,000 something players.
It's crazy. But I feel like that's what you're supposed to say about the transfer portal.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's silly. It's ludicrous. Let me see what else. So there we go. So we'll come back and report next week, but we'll have
the path to the
fun.
championship will be a lot more clear.
Yeah.
Next week because we'll have the only
I don't know what
we'll
day
only
the
have the final four
is.
left, right?
Yep.
I don't know what day they play.
That's what I was just saying. Let me look. April 5th. So that will be
It's Friday.
A week from Saturday.
Okay.
So we will not have any. We'll just be reporting on Sweet 16 Elite 8 next week. So.
Hopefully there'll be some shuffling around of the leaderboard.
We'll see. Time will tell. Arkansas Farm Trail, how's that going?
Man, it seems to be going really good.
Yeah.
We've so I try to follow everybody on social media. When I say everybody, the participating farms. And we've got a couple that is traveling around or going through the trail, and they've already hit 3 that I know of.
One couple or a couple of folks?
One couple
parties. Are these the ones that hit county line beef? Said they were their first customers, first trail customers, and then I think Flying Pig Cattle Company said they had already been to their place too.
And then they went to Cowbell Ranch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
boy, they have.
It
covered
seems like
some
they started
land.
at the northern part of the state. And just came straight down.
But they're from Central Arkansas.
Are they? I don't know.
I think I saw they're from McRae.
Okay.
So that'd be right outside.
Sounds like to me they want that fire pit.
Yeah, buddy. Mm-hmm. Good on them. And I saw the bags they were holding in the county line beef photo. Boy, they purchased. They went shopping.
That's the point. One thing I do need to pass along is Richland Creek Farm and Market in Union County around El Dorado. They had a situation where they had to update their phone number. So the current phone number we have listed for them in the passports that are out there is incorrect.
Okay. How could they get the
you can get the right phone number? The right phone number is going to be on our website. The digital copy of the passport on the website has the correct phone number in it. The link within the website that says Find a Farm has all the farms listed in it. It also has the correct phone number in it.
Oh, okay.
We have also passed on information to our county farm bureaus, as well as our farms. That information, pass along that information. We're also printing out little inserts that'll go into each passport for the ones we've already had printed. We'll have those shipped out to the counties as well as the farms. And then once we get through this first tranche of passports we've already printed, we'll, if we have to print more, it'll have the updated
new phone number.
Yeah, and then we'll notify everybody. I don't know.
If you search it,
I don't have to look.
They're usually pretty quick.
So just keep that in mind. If you do have a passport now, or if you receive a passport in the next month, maybe a few weeks, if it doesn't have an insert in it, it probably has it should have an insert in it. If it doesn't, just double check with what the phone number is on the website. Yeah. The one on the website is correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
All right. Well, there you go. Everything else going good though, sounds like.
Yep.
Well, also I'd say there's a lot going on at Farm Bureau in general. Obviously the farm trail, and we've been busy in and out. But me see. I've got a list here. So, Women's Leadership Conference is next week.
It is.
Here in Little Rock, mixture of the embassy and state capitol and a little bit of everywhere. So, hopefully you're planning to be there if you qualify to attend, I should say.
Yeah.
But so that'll be exciting to have everybody in town for that. Looking ahead a little bit, the Arkansas Farm Bureau Foundation scholarship application window is open now until April 11th. So if you're a college junior or senior, you're eligible. If you know a college junior or senior, ask them to apply and get involved there. And then looking even further ahead is the Foundation Trap Shoot, which benefits not only the Arkansas Farm Bureau Foundation, but the FFA Foundation and the 4-H Foundation. That'll be on June 6th, and the registration's open for that now. So if you want to enter a team into the Trap Shoot, go ahead and do that.
You gonna jump in?
All the information? No, buddy. No. I'm no,
it's a lot
no
of fun.
bueno on that deal. But you should go online, go to our Facebook page. You can find out how to register there.
Well,
or
I'll
the
be there.
Foundation Facebook page. Yeah, you always put a team.
And I
in,
will
don't
be
you?
competing.
The team name is always a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
get
we've got a
into
really good team name.
Yeah.
I thought about
just-
changing it, but I don't know, it's too good.
I've always wanted to go there with a cap gun.
Just roll out
just to
with
freak
6
everybody
shooters.
out, not tell anybody.
Yeah.
And when it gets pulled,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just stand beside somebody, just pow, 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 pow. Just freak everybody out.
Ah, I missed.
Man, I can smell those caps right now
Yeah.
from
Oh,
when
yeah.
I was a kid.
Oh, me
those
too.
little red
Oh,
ribbons,
yeah.
man.
They still make them?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Do you remember
I haven't
the
shopped
ones,
for that in quite a while, you know.
Do you remember when they, at some point when I was a kid, they transitioned away? You could get obviously the old Western style with the
Yeah.
red ribbon or whatever,
Yep.
but then they made them with that circle
Yeah. Plastic cap.
plastic cap that had probably 6 rounds
Yeah.
in it. You know, half of them were duds.
They were.
You know what
Yeah.
was never a dud? That red ribbon tape.
Oh, I
like
know.
always,
I
every
forgot
one of
about the
those
tape.
popped.
Yeah.
But those
They just
plastic
fed through.
ones, boy, something about that just didn't work as well.
Yeah.
But
I
anyway.
remember when the light bulb went off and figured out you could use a hammer or
Oh, on the yeah,
Something
buddy,
like that.
a rock,
Oh, man.
anything, yeah, like little firecrackers that we could actually use because we didn't have to have fire.
Don't leave children with too much time on their hands. You know,
No.
you got to keep them busy.
No,
I'm
man.
pretty sure they got rid of those for that reason.
I will bet they did.
Anyway, and then lastly, tomorrow, the Arkansas Ag Hall of Fame induction ceremony. If you don't have your ticket, it's sold out. But we'll be down at the State House Convention Center taking part in that.
Yep.
Excited to honor several individuals for that, and we'll have photos and all kinds of stuff coverage across social media as part of that as well. So stay tuned for all that, including our own Mike Freeze being inducted to the Arkansas.
Yeah,
Hall
it's
of Fame.
big.
So a lot of exciting stuff going on in this weather. My goodness, the weather. I've got to do some driving this weekend, and I hope to see some planters out in the field. I was over in the Delta last week and saw some then, and I hope to see continue seeing
I've
that.
heard some rice going in.
Really?
Early rice.
I think what I saw
Maybe
was
it's not early
mostly
right
dirt
now,
work.
but when I first heard of it going in, it was really early.
Yeah.
So, and then I wonder if beans have.
I think
I know
that's
corn
risky.
hadn't yet, but
No.
I don't
And
know. I
beans
wouldn't
is a little risky. They're saying we may get a freeze on Tuesday.
we always get one in April. Mm-hmm. So,
So, anyway. All right. Well, you want to jump on in here?
sure. I've been waiting all week.
I know you have. That's why
So,
you were late getting down here because you
know,
forgot
it
that you
did-
had to record.
I know, man. I was just like panicking. I'm supposed to be somewhere.
Well, you hadn't done it in 3 weeks.
Well, all right. The cattle on feed and livestock slaughter reports were published last week and have provided us with some interesting information. So no need to add any filler here. Let's just go ahead and get into it. What do you
Okay.
think? Just for those who don't know, according to USDA, the cattle on feed report provides estimates of the number of cattle being fed, a ration of grain, silage, hay or protein, supplements for the slaughter market hay or protein supplements for the slaughter market that are expected to produce a carcass that will grade, and I quote, select or better. So that wasn't filler, but
No.
I guess you can maybe
It sets the tone. What are we talking about here?
A little bit of background.
Yeah.
Anyways, Dr. Josh Maples of Mississippi State University Extension does a monthly write-up with the current cattle market. So credit to him for this information. According to Dr. Maples, the monthly cattle on feed and livestock slaughter reports both told stories of declines from a year ago levels. The latest cattle on feed report came out last Friday, March 1st, and lower numbers in placements, marketings, and total cattle on feed were realized. For feedlots with 1,000 or more head capacity on March 1st, cattle on feed was 11.6 million head. Compared to this time last year, it's down 2%. In February, marketing of fed cattle totaled 1.6 million head, showing a 9% decrease from 2024. February placements are shown as being even further in decline from 2024 at 18% down. According to Maples, the decline in placements was not unexpected, as double-digit declines were expected before the report. As for reasons for the drop, Maples says that the decrease in feeder cattle available plays a part, but the winter storms in 2024 were a large contributor, causing irregular shifts in placements last year. Washington State, interestingly enough, was the only state that didn't experience a decline in placements, while Kansas reported the largest decrease at 100,000 head, or 2%, followed by Texas at 95,000 head, or 27%, and Nebraska at 65,000 head, or 13%. The livestock slaughter report also showed declines. The February report totaled 2.3 million head and is down 11% from a year ago. Specifically, steers were down 6.6%, heifers down 10.4%, and cow slaughter down 21% from February 2024. Average cattle weights were up 48 pounds from a year ago at 1,432 pounds. Average steer dressed weights were 948 pounds, which would be a 1,517 pound live weight if we assume a 62.5% dressing percentage. Lastly, I should mention that this was kind of a big deal for us when this was announced last year, but not specifically this. It was a reverse of this. That USDA NASS announced their reinstatement of the July cattle inventory.
I remember that.
So last year when they shut it down, we were like, well, that we use that information. The industry does. So that report and county estimates for crops and livestock. These reports were previously cut last year, like I said, due to budget cuts. Maples noted that there are important reports. Sorry, a lot of T's. To the cattle industry, especially during years like this one when market participants are looking for signs of herd expansion. So be looking for another report from us this summer around that July timeline.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, good deal. I know that cattle inventory, been talked about quite a bit around here. Looking forward to that report coming out.
Us economists rely on that information quite a bit. So.
Yeah. I will say, though, probably I'm not focusing on the right thing here, but what blows me away is everybody thinks of Texas as a what state? A cattle state, right? But in Kansas, 100,000 head was 2%.
They got a lot.
In Texas, 95,000 head was 27%. Mm-hmm. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's kind of mind-boggling to say. Or in Nebraska, 65% would.
You just kind of go up that line right there. That's where they all are.
Yeah, anyway. All right. Well, in the spirit of changing seasons, we talked about the weather a minute ago. I thought we'd talk about a grant opportunity for Arkansas farmers markets.
Cool.
Each year, the Arkansas Department of Agriculture partners with Farm Credit to help the state's farmers markets through the Arkansas Farmers Market Promotion Program and Arkansas Farmers Market Bag Program. We're just going to talk about that promotion program today. These programs are administered by the department and sponsored by Farm Credit to help promote local community-based farmers markets with multiple vendors. These grants are available again in 2025 for the 10th year running. If you need help increasing awareness or are interested in funding assistance to help your market, this is the opportunity for you. The program offers funding for a range of promotional activities designed to boost community and regional engagement at farmers markets. Eligible items for funding include signage like displaying names or seasons, operating hours, things like that. Local advertising, so traditional methods like print and radio ads to spread awareness about your farmer's market. And social media campaigns, so engaging digital strategies to reach a wider audience there. This program will provide cost share assistance for 75% or up to $575. In 2024, the department awarded over $11,000 in grants to 21 Arkansas farmers markets through the partnership with Farm Credit.
That's awesome.
Here's what you need to apply. Okay, so get your pen and paper out. A detailed explanation of the proposed use of funds, an itemized budget, identifying other funding sources, a copy of the proposed promotion or signage design. You've got to put Farm Credit and Arkansas Department of Ag logos on all your promotion designs. And you've got to mention both of those parties in all broadcast commercials as well. If you're interested, reach out to our friend Beth Moore at the Arkansas Department of Ag, and she'll get you all set up. Seems like a good opportunity to get some grant funds to help you promote your farmers market. So,
yeah, and all of our farmers markets need more opportunity, more funding, blah, blah, blah. The bags are great. Signage is great too, man. And the more you can do to get people out to them and help support local farms and local producers, it's great.
I mean, $575 to promote your, your farmers market and social media ad campaign can go a long way.
And a lot of these farmers markets don't have $575.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's a good thing.
Pretty good deal. All right, well let's take a quick break from the news to hear about the Farm Bureau Health Plans of Arkansas.
Are you tired of one-size-fits-all health coverage? Welcome to Farm Bureau Health Plans of Arkansas, where you're in control. As a benefit of Arkansas Farm Bureau membership, you could save up to 40% compared to traditional coverage. Plus, you get comprehensive benefits, can enroll anytime, and access to Arkansas Blue Cross and Blue Shield's comprehensive network. Arkansas, we've got you covered. To join Arkansas Farm Bureau or find your plan, contact your county agent or visit arfbhealthplans.com.
All right, for my last story this week, if I can get through it without stumbling.
I believe in you.
I can read. I just can't read that well. So we haven't talked about trade in a while.
That's right.
Which is odd for this show, or maybe it's just odd for me.
It's been hard to keep up with. How about that?
I should say I haven't read in a while on this show. But Betty Resnick, she's an economist for American Farm Bureau, published a great article detailing the American products that could be impacted by the latest tariff war. Mm-hmm. Before we go into the details, I wanted to highlight a great point she made. And I quote, "Tariffs can be a double whammy for farmers. Farmers not only end up paying more for inputs, they also often take the brunt of retaliatory tariffs. With over 20% of U.S. agricultural goods exported, retaliatory tariffs can pose a major threat to farms' ability to turn a profit." This may seem obvious, but it's important because not only could farmers be paying more to produce their crop due to tariffs, they could potentially be getting less for their crop, especially after the bad year we just had.
Right. Yeah.
Basically that same thing.
Yeah.
So tariffs are just going to put, sour icing on the cake at this point.
Yeah.
So Resnick's article focuses on our three top markets for agricultural exports. Those would be Mexico, Canada, and China, who account for $30.3 billion, $28.3 billion, and $24.7 billion, respectively, in 2024. As of March 18th, an additional 20% of tariffs have been applied to all Chinese products and 25% to most Canadian and Mexican products. Mm-hmm. However, the Canadian and Mexican tariffs have been paused through April 2nd on USMCA compliant products. In response to U.S. imposed tariffs, Canada and China have both implemented retaliatory tariffs. In addition, the European Union has also announced, starting in April, they will also plan to impose tariffs on U.S. products. Mm-hmm. So let's focus on Canada first. Resnick states that on March 4th, a 25% tariff on all Canadian products, excluding energy, which received only a 10% tariff, went into effect, while at the same time, Canada imposed a 25% tariff on roughly $21 billion of U.S. products. This included $5.8 billion of U.S. agricultural products, and those ag products would include wine, fresh fruit, dairy products, poultry, rice, and watermelons. Another wave of Canadian retaliatory tariffs is expected and is thought to include all U.S. agricultural products. Now shifting to China. Their retaliatory tariffs focus on U.S. ag products went into effect March 10th, and for shipments that do not arrive in the country by April 12th. They implemented a 15% tariff on chicken, wheat, corn, and cotton. China also placed a 10% tariff on sorghum, soybeans, pork, beef, fruits, vegetables, and dairy products. The largest products impacted in terms of value, lo and behold, no surprise here, first one at the top is soybeans.
Yeah.
At $12.8 billion, cotton at $1.5 billion, grain sorghum at $1.3 billion, and frozen boneless bovine meat at $1 billion. According to Resnick, it's too early to measure the full impact on American agriculture of the retaliatory tariffs currently in place or that of the additional retaliatory tariffs that are likely to be implemented shortly by Canada and the EU.
Yeah.
So what she does know, though, is tariffs and subsequent increased consumer prices will certainly decrease demand for U.S. products in our second and third largest agricultural export markets.
Yeah.
If you want to see the full article, you can find it at
fb.org/market-intel.
That her article has some very good graphs in it and shows, you can visibly see how much of these products and which ones are getting impacted the most. She does give a lot more value numbers in there than what we have time for today. So I would highly recommend anybody to go out there and read it.
Yeah, she's great. I mean, we report on her stuff all the time here. That's interesting. And that story evolves every day.
It does. I think there might have been some new tariffs coming out this week, too.
So yesterday, that's what I was kind of looking at while you were, I had to admit, while you were going over that, I was kind of looking at the automobile tariff.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. That's what I saw.
25% on any vehicles not made in the U.S. So,
man.
And that list of, there's several news outlets that have top 10 most American-made cars, and it would surprise you. It's a lot of Hondas, Volkswagens, and Teslas on there.
Some of the Toyotas made here in the country?
Yeah, most of them.
But
Camry is one of the most American.
But their parts aren't made here, right?
Yeah, I think that probably get into that. But yeah,
I wonder what Ford and GM are doing right now about this, because a lot of their stuff is made in Mexico, right?
It depends on your source. I think F-150. I have not seen a GM product on any of these American car lists.
Yeah.
But the F-150 tends to pop up every once in a while. So I'm not reporting on this as news because it's certainly we have not vetted the information.
Speculating.
And we are speculating, absolutely. But I just thought it'd be. I just kind of wanted to take a look at that because that is also going to impact the farm.
Yeah.
I mean, you take a 25% increase on the price of a vehicle. Well, guess what farms use? I mean, so anyway, I just thought we'd mention that as another impact here. All right. It's time to check in on egg prices and give an update on the temporary import market we discussed a few weeks ago. John, I believe you had several questions about that story, and we've got some new details to share here. This is from Reuters, who reports the U.S. has nearly doubled imports of Brazilian eggs, once used only for pet food, and is considering relaxing regulations for eggs laid by chickens raised for meat, as President Trump's administration seeks to bring down record-high prices spiked by bird flu. Now, Reuters says none of these Brazilian eggs would land on grocery shelves, or at least not the egg aisle. They could be used in processed foods such as cake mixes, ice cream, salad dressing, things like that, which in turn would free up fresh eggs for shoppers on the other side of the store.
You may get into this. I wonder what the reasoning for that is.
Well,
quality?
They are, yeah. So, from what I understand, well, let's finish. I'll finish, and then we'll see how many questions you have. So this comes on the heels of a 54% price increase on eggs in February alone. The administration is also promoting imports from countries such as Turkey, South Korea, and Europe. I also saw some of the Nordic countries mentioned actually right after we reported on that story a few weeks ago. but they aren't here in this Reuters article. U.S. egg imports from Brazil in February increased by 93% from a year earlier. The Brazilian Animal Protein Association said, according to Reuters, 93% increase in February. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration told Reuters it is also reviewing a petition from the National Chicken Council to allow sale for human consumption of eggs laid by chickens that the council's members raise for meat.
Yeah.
Currently, broiler chicken producers destroy millions of those eggs because they lack sufficient refrigeration to meet an FDA food safety requirement. Mm-hmm. So I think that's kind of part of it. Those Brazilian eggs kind of fall into that same. They're eggs laid by meat-producing birds. And so that's why I think they're looking at, okay, well, we're going to import those. We're not going to put them on the egg shelf. We're going to put them in some of these pre-processed foods, which may provide some relief on the egg shelf. But I'll tell you, pricing-wise, I went and looked as I was writing this story. You're looking at $5 a dozen for large white store brand, not name brand, but store brand eggs. Not great, but
we have some of the
buying eggs.
Yeah, we have some of the stiffest, strictest food safety quality regulations here in the U.S. Mm-hmm. Are they sticking to that with these imports?
Yeah, so I think part of what they're looking at is relaxing some of those regulations, at least for a temporary basis, to welcome these import markets in. The Brazilian is a good example of that, and could go further, could take that further.
I was we write these ag insiders that come out of our department, and Jared Garrett, our poultry expert, he wrote one on egg prices. Mm-hmm. Right when that broke news several weeks ago that
Waffle House was charging 50 cents.
We reported on it here in the show.
Yeah.
Well, maybe 3 days to 5 days later, all the information out, and it was wrong because they'd gone even higher.
Yeah, even higher.
And he was like, "Man, I did all that and wrote all that." I was like, "Well, hey, man, that's just kind of how it works." He did a great job. It's just that sometimes when you put out information, even with reporting crop prices,
it's an evolving story, man.
It just moves.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about that a lot with the market updates that Brandy on your team writes.
Yeah.
I mean, those things, in some cases that information can be stale the minute it hits the paper.
Yeah.
But it's still important.
Yeah, it gives you you can track it.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
It's kind of like our division updates. We have prices in our crop reports, and usually by the time it gets out, it's a few days old.
Yeah,
current cash price is not. That's what was reported. I don't know, 2 days ago. It was written. So,
but the people who use that information understand.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
All right, buddy, that wraps us up.
You're all wrapped up.
Yeah, I promise. We had a big show to put on.
Okay, so now you're ready for
Stump the Host.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
We're going to get him today, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're going to beat him.
Well, just for that, I was going to save this to later, but I wanted to let you know I'm implementing tariffs on these questions.
Are you? We have to pay for
and depending on how you do.
They're tough enough as it is.
I may put tariffs on the answers.
Oh, wow.
But you can pay me when we leave.
You have to pay to get the question. And you have to pay if you get it wrong.
Got to pay to play.
That's it. That's it.
This is like
before I get started, do you know the difference between eggs and cow manure?
No. That's quite a few. Where should I start?
Physically?
I'd hate to send you guys for eggs.
Oh, that's awfully kind.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Arts, science, entertainment,
Why don't
history,
you kick us off.
general, geography.
General.
General, he dove right in.
He's backed off.
All right. How many points do you score for a bullseye in archery?
In archery?
I thought he was going to say darts.
Is it 10?
10. He got it.
Hey, buddy, look at you go.
Good
I can
start.
at least count that high without a
Good
calculator.
start. There you go. All right. What's next?
Should I do general as well? Is there another general, or is that gone?
There's not, but
Okay.
I can.
No, don't refresh.
The challenge.
Arts, how about?
Golly, why'd you say that?
Because I don't like myself very much.
I saw him cringe when. In what literary work would you find The Yahoos.
The Yahoos. Oh. Well,
Or you could pronounce them Yahoos.
Yahoo. Well, that'd be the Arkansas AgCast. That's not literally, but that's where you'd find the Yahoos. Shakespeare, one part of Shakespeare's catalog.
In the cartoon section of a newspaper.
It's Gulliver's Travels.
Gulliver's Travels.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So you have left
Do not pick arts.
science, entertainment, history, geography.
Science, history, geography, and what?
Entertainment.
You know, he's drawn like a moth to a flame to that history category.
Yeah, that's what I want. It's either I go history or I go entertainment. I hope he gets it right.
Yeah. Well, there's that because we are winning. Right
Okay. Are you going history then? All right. What English city was known to the Romans as Venta Bulgarum?
Bulgarum. Well, it's not Venice because that's a different country.
It is English city.
Yeah.
So
Not Italian. I'm gonna guess that it's on the east side of the country.
Okay,
Because that'd be the direction the Romans would be coming from.
that's fair.
They're west, right? So what's on the east side?
I love this think like a Roman playbook. Where
You know what all this is? It's just making up for the very imminent wrong answer that's on its way
Talking
out
my way
across
through
those
it, they would
lips.
just pop up.
Well, he got it wrong, but he knew a lot.
Well, over there's Cambridge and Cork, and I don't know. I guess I want to say Cambridge. I have no idea. That's really southeast.
you know, you can name them all and potentially get it right.
Yeah, that's true. But that it would really stop at London.
Cambridge is his final answer.
Okay. What's your final answer?
Oh, I don't. I don't have one. I don't have one today.
Winchester.
Winchester. Huh. How about
What was the Roman
What was the
term?
pronunciation?
Yeah, what did they say?
Venta Bulgarum.
Venta Bulgarum. Huh.
So does that translate to Winchester?
I have no idea. I don't
Look,
speak
he
Roman.
just asked the question.
See, he got it wrong.
I don't speak Roman. Oh, that's hilarious.
So
All right.
you weren't around back then.
Yeah, I wasn't around back then.
Yeah.
So I'll give you one more since we haven't been here in a while.
Okay.
So, vultures, depending on what they're doing, they have a different term for it's a groups of vultures have different terms depending on their behavior.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
So, if vultures are gathering on the side of the road feeding on a carcass, what are they called?
Traffic stop.
A gang.
They're called a wake.
A wake. Interesting.
A wake of vultures. How about that? So
What about
that's your
the group
science
of
for the
crows?
day. So
That's a murder, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
It is.
it is.
You ever eaten crow?
No, I have not. Well, golly, you got me. Yes, I have. Many times. Yeah, exactly.
If you're not watching, if you're just listening, you should have seen Jason's face. Like, oh no, absolutely not.
How gross.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
How dare you ask me a question like that?
That was a good one.
Oh my God, that was great. Hey, we can't get out of here without wishing a very belated but very happy birthday to our producer, the Wizard, Brian Pistol, who celebrated a birthday on Monday.
Thank you. Yeah, it was Monday.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Sorry, I was here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Happy
you
late
gotta
birthday,
keep up.
man.
Yeah.
I've talked to you every day this week in person.
And I know he told me he was thinking every time he left his office.
I'm sure he
didn't
did.
say happy birthday.
Yeah.
But, okay.
I came in saying, "Hey, I need this. I need this." Not
happy birthday, buddy.
I get that quite a bit, so it's all good.
All right. Well, listen, that wraps up the news for this week. It's good to be back. Thanks for following along with the Arkansas AgCast. We're grateful for you taking the time to watch and listen.
Yeah, remember you can catch new episodes of the show every Thursday afternoon. Find video episodes on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the audio version wherever you listen to podcasts.
Make sure to subscribe and leave us a review when you have a few extra minutes. The Arkansas AgCast is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau. I'm Jason Brown,
And I'm John McMahon.
and we'll see you next week.